Hello my beautiful viewers, and welcome back to the channel. Well, the rain has finally moved out, and you know what that means around here. It's time to get back to work. After a couple of days of rain, everything is green, everything is growing, and unfortunately that includes the weeds. Today I've got the Ego string trimmer out, and we're going to get some trimming done around the property. If you've been following the channel, you know this Ego has pretty much taken over the job that my old Makita string trimmer handled for many years. The more I use this Ego, the more comfortable I am with making that transition. But while I'm trimming today, I thought I would tell you another story from my younger days. And this one goes all the way back to Germany in 1977 and 1978. When I was stationed in Schweinfurt, Germany, I owned a small car. It wasn't anything fancy, and by today's standards I would probably compare it to a subcompact, but I didn't look at that car as simply transportation. I looked at it as an opportunity. Our unit would regularly go to the field for training exercises. When I say the field, I'm talking about leaving our home base and spending up to 30 days at another location training. Many soldiers would schedule their leave right after one of those field exercises. Think about it. You just spent 30 days in the field. You're tired, dirty, and ready to get away from the army for a while. The last thing you want to worry about is figuring out how to get to the airport. That's where I came in. I started at what I called my Airport Express. I even invested in a luggage rack for the top of my car because there wasn't enough room inside for 3 or 4 soldiers and all their luggage. I could normally carry 3 passengers comfortably enough, sometimes 4, depending on how much luggage everybody had. And I charged $20 per person for a ride to the airport. Now $20 might not sound like a lot of money today, but this was 1977. $20 back then had roughly the buying power of around $110 today. So if I carried 3 soldiers at $20 each, I collected $60 for the trip. In today's buying power, that's roughly $330, and I usually had a full load. Frankfurt was roughly 100 miles from Schweinfurt, and the drive took around 2 hours each way. Gas at the time was around 66 cents a gallon. Depending on the trip, I might have $6 or $7 in fuel. So you can probably see why I liked my little Airport Express. For about 4.5 hours of my time, the profit margin was pretty good. And remember, I was still a young soldier. I wasn't sitting down with a calculator figuring out profit percentages and return on investment. I just understood something very simple. If somebody has a problem and you're willing to solve that problem, there may be an opportunity to make some money. That's something I've carried with me my entire life. Eventually, all those miles caught up with my little car, and I needed an engine, so what did I do? I went to a German junkyard, and instead of simply buying an engine with cash, I made a trade. American whiskey for a used engine. And it wasn't just any engine. I ended up with a high-performance engine. We brought it back, the Army Motor Pool shop. I'll tell you what, that little car was a completely different vehicle afterward. There was a noticeable difference in power and speed. My car was registered at 160 kilometers per hour, which is right around 100 miles per hour. And with that engine, doing 100 miles per hour wasn't much of a problem. Parts of the German Autobahn had no general speed limit, so you'd be running along at 100 miles per hour and still have cars coming up behind you wanting to pass. That was certainly a different driving experience for a young American soldier. I even drove that little car to England twice. A friend of mine had a girlfriend stationed at an American Air Force base there, so off we went. We were able to buy fuel through the military fuel stamp system, which gave us a considerable advantage compared with buying fuel at regular European prices. Before leaving, we would borrow 6 5-gallon gas cans and fill them. That's 30 gallons of fuel. And that leads me to another one of my little deals. I didn't smoke cigarettes. Back then, cigarettes were a big deal in the military, and soldiers had access to cigarette rations. Since cigarettes didn't have much value to me personally, I would trade my cigarette allowance or stamps with soldiers who smoked in exchange for something I did want. Gas stamps. They got something they wanted. I got something I wanted. Everybody walked away happy. That's called making a deal. But the Airport Express wasn't my only little business in Germany. By this point, I was working as the unit armorer. That meant I was responsible for the weapons stored in our armory. Whenever we returned from the field, everybody had to turn their weapon back in. And there was one important requirement. That weapon was supposed to be clean. Now imagine you've been living in the field for weeks. You finally get back to the barracks. So some of these guys had wives waiting for them. Others had girlfriends waiting. They didn't want to sit around cleaning a weapon. They wanted to turn it in and get out of there. Once again, I saw a problem that needed solving, so I started charging them to turn their weapons in dirty. Depending on the weapon size and type, I would charge between $5 and $10. They could hand me the dirty weapon and leave. I would take care of cleaning it, and because I worked in the arms room, I would spend my days cleaning those weapons until everything was caught up. Some people might have looked at a pile of dirty weapons and seen a lot of extra work. I looked at that same pile and saw a business opportunity. As I look back over my life, I realize I've probably been a businessman since I was a kid. Long before I owned an automotive repair business, I was already thinking in this way. I've told you before about being young and finding little ways to make money. Then I joined the Army, went halfway around the world, and I was still doing the same thing. The circumstances changed. The opportunities changed. But my way of thinking didn't. I've always enjoyed looking at a situation and asking myself, is there an opportunity here? It doesn't necessarily have to be a huge opportunity. Sometimes the best opportunities are simple. Someone needs a ride to the airport. Someone doesn't want to clean his weapon. Someone has something you need, and you have something he wants. Find a way to make the exchange worthwhile for both people. That's business. And more than 50 years later, I still think that way. Well, while I've been telling you about my younger days in Germany, we've been getting some work done around the property. The rain has moved on, the grass is green, and the ego string trimmer is getting everything cleaned back up. One thing about owning property, there is always another job waiting for you. And that's all right with me. Working keeps me moving, and while I'm working, it gives me plenty of time to think about some of these stories from my past. I enjoy sharing them with you because sometimes a memory from 50 years ago contains a lesson that still applies today. Look for opportunities. Don't be afraid to work. And when you see a problem that you know how to solve, there just might be a business hiding inside that problem. Well, my beautiful viewers, that's going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed spending some time with me and hearing another story from my army days in Germany, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and joining me. We do a little mowing, trimming, tractor work, property projects, and every now and then I reach back into the past and share another story from this journey we call life. And as always, I enjoy reading your comments. Did you ever have a side hustle you done when you were younger? Maybe you mowed lawns, worked on cars, hauled something, sold something, or simply found a way to make a few extra dollars. Tell me about it in the comments. I'd really like to hear your story. Until next time, my beautiful viewers, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next video.